Are you having one of those weeks that things are just not going as planned and you're struggling to get anything done? I don't want you to feel alone because I felt the same way. So if you want to not feel alone, I hope that you'll stay and join me as I review some of the challenges from my week and we can have a little bit of camaraderie. If you like this content, I hope that you will subscribe, like, or comment on the video, and I'll be putting out a new video every week on these sort of topics around the struggles for the week and the challenges, and just sharing food for thought for you for your upcoming week. So I'd like to know, how was your week? Did you have a good week? Did you have a bad week? Was there anything that you struggled with that you're wondering, how can I get over some of these struggles? Or do you just want to feel a little bit more connected to someone else who is not having such a great week, and you can connect and maybe not feel so alone in your struggles? Well, if you're looking for someone to connect with and feeling lonely with, I'm here to share some of the struggles that I had this week with both my YouTube channel and with my musical endeavors, we'll call it. And I just felt that if I share this, maybe someone else would feel a little less alone this week, and also showing that we're all human and there's only so much that we can do in a given week, and we can't control everything that is around us. So the first thing I wanted to start with in this discussion, I have three things I want to talk about. The first one is self-reflection. So I sort of in general just felt more, I would say, a bit down this week, maybe because I just felt like I wasn't getting the views on my videos that I had hoped. I released 3 different YouTube recordings last week of original songs that I had written, and I sang them and put the posts out there. And I got a total of 5 views for each of them. And I think really 3 of them were my own views. So that really isn't very many views. And so it was a bit disappointing because I did put a lot of effort into writing the songs and recording them. And of course, they're there for the future and I can promote them. But it just felt like a lot of work for not a whole lot of reward. In addition to the 3 originals that I recorded, I also recorded another video that was about confidence. And I didn't get a lot of confidence after that video went out. Again, it didn't really get a lot of views, and I'm not sure why. I'll continue to look at that. But I think my overanalyzing and self-reflection made me feel like it wasn't I felt like it wasn't a very rewarding week. And I was worrying and overanalyzing, was I doing the right thing? Am I covering the right content? Am I making the right types of songs? Should I be doing my originals or should I only do covers? And so I had all these sort of questions in the back of my mind all week. And in the by the end of this week, so today, I realized, well, that was good to do the self-reflection, but it doesn't really change my purpose and my direction. And so my goal for the channel is to be an inspiration for others to go out of their comfort zone and try different music skills, whether that's singing or I play ukulele and guitar or anything really, but help to motivate people. So my self-reflection brought me back to the core reason I started the channel to begin with. So the next thing that challenged me for this week was my ability to stay motivated. And that was primarily because we had sort of an illness go through the family this week, and the kids were home, and it was just kind of disruptive. There was more noise than normal in the house, and whining and complaining, and just not everyone was really in a good mood this week. So that really disrupted my pace or ability to complete any work. And I also found that the covers that I was practicing and preparing to do recordings of, I was getting to the point where I just wasn't that excited about them anymore. So I'm not sure if I played them too much or practiced them too much and just sort of lost my excitement and thrill for them. So those need a review or a revamp. I need to maybe start fresh and pick some new songs and go from there. The other thing is that I have reached a point where I actually have song idea overload. This might sound strange, but almost every day I came up with a song idea, and I've been trying to build those songs out to complete them. And I'm struggling to finish them, to focus. And like I said, because I had these other disruptions, not really a lot of time to focus. I also feel disorganized with how I'm capturing the songs in a notebook. And then I take the notebook notes and then create a copy on the computer. And getting to that point, I just have struggled. So part of it is my process, part of it is just not having time, and part of it is just not interest that's impacting my overall motivation. The third thing that I wanted to talk about is prioritization. So when you don't have a lot of time, you end up looking at or considering, if I only have 30 minutes to work on something, where am I going to put my time and what can I really complete in 30 minutes? It's hard to sit down and practice or write and practice a song in 30 minutes. Maybe I could probably do it a few times through and kind of finalize some of the wording, but I just felt like 30 minutes wasn't really enough time for me to sit down and focus on anything specific. I also can practice covers, so that was a reasonable thing that I could sit down and just play all the covers for 30 minutes. And then I kept thinking, because had been spent so much time on this self-reflection, I kept thinking maybe I need to spend this extra time, or not extra time, the little time I had, on writing new scripts for my YouTube channel. And what I ended up doing is deciding maybe I don't really need as much of a script. I don't need to focus so much on that. I can just talk, and we'll see how that turns out in the future videos. But having a more loose script and just talking through some of the challenges of the week is what I approached this week. So to summarize, motivate, the self-reflection, it's always good to do the self-reflection, but just don't overdo it. The next thing was the motivation. So if you do have things that are getting in your way and taking up your time that you hadn't expected, you're just going to have to prioritize for this week what is the most important thing and figure out how to get forward progress on the most important ones and let the other ones fall to the wayside, at least for this week, and maybe catch up on another week when things are really going a lot smoother. So those are the three things that I wanted to talk about today. I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope to see you next time.